The police are making me so unwell. I was allowed to do a video interview on 3 things that I reported to them months earlier and they totally ignored. One I reported last September and I constantly asked them to do a statement on, and a female officer decided I wasn't allowed to. I asked her several times in person, in emails, and on the phone in front of someone who couldn't understand why she was stopping me from going ahead with it. I also reported something in February and it took them 7 weeks to let me go ahead with a statement about that. And another incident that was 7 or 8 weeks ago now, and I've been trying to get hold of them, and so has my dad, to give them more information about those 3 cases before a decision's made. I have stated I don't want any decisions being made until I've given this information, and they're ignoring me and they're not telling me anything. These cases should have gone ahead when first originally being reported. The one in September should have gone ahead when there was evidence, a lot of evidence. And the one that I reported to a female officer in person, in an email, in a letter, on the phone, and got ignored for over 2 weeks, losing all evidence, that should have gone ahead as well. And the other one, which I've been trying to give a lot more information about, and I've been ignored by 3 different DIs who I've been ringing up and asking to speak to, and so has my dad. One of them phoned my dad today and said it was nothing to do with him and they'll only contact me when they want to ask me something. I'm trying to give more information on cases that I've been asking to do for months, and there was another one, a 4th one, where I was physically and mentally abused by someone I used to work for months and months and months. And then one night she sent me almost 100 abusive messages that left me so suicidal I tried to take an overdose. I gave him the evidence and the DI has said he won't go ahead on it. What does she have to do? Kill me before they go ahead with that? Because it's constant threats from her. She constantly stalks me online and she constantly says things about me that makes me feel so low that I don't want to live. And the police are totally ignoring and letting people get away with constantly hurting me. And they're forcing me into cases that I don't want to. I got threatened with being arrested if I don't go ahead with a case that's currently going ahead. And when I finally got the courage to tell them I don't want to go ahead with it, I get a phone call today saying that the DI involved in the case won't speak to me because I've made comments about him saying that I don't want to speak to him. I've never once said that to him. I've only ever had one conversation with him and I certainly did not say that about him. I've told them I don't want to go ahead with this case. I told them day one I didn't want to go ahead, and I got threatened to be arrested because I didn't want to go ahead with something. I shouldn't have to live constantly like this, being ignored and putting under so much pressure that I don't want to live anymore. Why are the police allowed to ignore people hurting me, and when I'm trying to contact them, just ignore me? And my dad said to me today he's been trying to contact them for a month and he rings numerous times a week to give them information and they just ignore him. I don't want anything to do with the police. They're making me feel so low. I was okay before all of this started in September, and all I get is people making shit up about me, like this DI saying that I've said that I don't want to speak to him. I've never once said that about him. And I leave a message saying that a police officer threatened to arrest me, which I've since been told she had no authority to do that and I shouldn't have to give statements on things I don't want to. And they're just bullying me. It's just constant, and they have a vendetta against me, letting my former boss abuse me and her boyfriend hit me, and they've got the evidence that he hit me, but no, they just ignore it. And then they wonder why I'm constantly upset and on edge and on the verge of having a nervous breakdown. It's all them, and they constantly ignore me when I'm trying to speak to them, and then they go from contacting me all the time to not contacting me and just making me feel like crap when I'm trying to tell them things. The police are meant to help you and they owe you a care of duty, but to me, they just make me want to die.